Hey, 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 hey. Remembering who you are. It's time to remember who you are. Who do you say that I am? Welcome, welcome, welcome. That's the question. Who do you say that I am? Because whatever you attach to the I am, that's what you shall be. Who do you say that I am? Oh, thank you, Natural Writer. How are you? It's Terrific Thursday, Thankful Thursday. Whatever you want to call this day shall you be with me in paradise. This day, not tomorrow, not in the afterlife, not next year, this day. Right now, you only have now. Be in paradise now while we waiting, right? There's no afterlife, there's only life. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Hope you had a great day at work. Hey, 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 the old one too. Hey, 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 Joy. How are you? I'm glad to have you here. Hello, Ian. How are you? Hello, within oneself. Yes. Within, I like that. Within oneself. That's all you're experiencing. That which is within you. All right? Thank you. Hey, hey. Thank you for the heart me. Hello, Nasir Bay. That's the only way to experience this life, from within. It's an inside job, as they say. As within, so without. As above, so below, your outer world. As above, so below, as within, so without are saying the exact same thing. We're not talking about what's going on out there in the heavens. It's what's going on in here. This is where your heavenly mindset. In here, not out there. Your own consciousness. Your own awareness of being. Whoever you say that I am. So that's the question. And only you can answer it. No one else can answer the question. Only you can say who you are. Thank you, thank you. Hey, 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 neighbor. Hey. No one else can tell you who you are. Hey, 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 Deanna. So who do you say that I am? I am abundant. I am joyful. I am prospered in all that I do. I am wealthy, which signifies well-being, prosperity, success, riches, wisdom, and health, right? You got to see yourself as already wealthy, not trying to be, not going to be, but I am. I am here to have life, and that more abundantly. Got to claim it. Got to embody it, and just be it. Be more, do less. Who are you being? Who do you say that I am? That is the question. To be or not to be? To be or not to be? So who do you want to be? You get to decide. This is your world. What are you creating? What is the master plan? What is the master planning? Because you are the master of your own destiny. You are the captain of your ship. You are the anchor. Hey, 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 Caleb. It's all you. It's all you. It's all you. And don't get down on yourself when you experience the human side of you. Because that's what you came here to experience, the human side of you. Having the human experience. Oh, yes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday. Enjoy. Have a wonderful day. May you get all the desires of your heart. Delight thyself also in the law of your being, the law of mind, your own awareness, your own consciousness. And he shall give thee the desires of your heart. Delight yourself. Be in love with you. Because you can have whatever you want. You can have whatever you want. I'd say you can have whatever you like, right? You can have whatever you like. What is it that you like? Now you just give it to yourself. Whatever you like, you can have. Just have to see yourself with it. Just give it to yourself. No holding back. No coming up with excuses as to why you can't have it. You're not here to list conditions. You're not here to condition the desire. You're just supposed to see yourself with the desire. Too many of us condition our desires, as Neville Goddard would say. We come with all the reasons and excuses how it cannot be, or it will only happen this way, or it can only happen this way. It will only happen when, right? When you're supposed to be living in the end. Living in the end, that's where you began, in the end. You kicked it off with saying, this is what I desire. And then you're supposed to end it by saying, I have the desire. Now that I have, now that I am. That should be, once you've decided, you move from wanting to having, to being, right? The end of desire is being, which means you become the person, you are the person that has to think, and the thing must appear. Simple, is it not? So simple, we like to complicate it. We get in our own way because we come with the buts, the ifs, the must-dos, the have-tos. We put everything in the way. And then we come up with all these different, well, this coach said this, and that coach said do this, and then this coach said it can only happen that way, and this coach said, what do you say? What do you say? We too busy listening to other people, yap, 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 talking in our ear. But what do you say? Who do you say that I am? What do you believe? What are you accepting? Do a self-assessment of self. Because you've been manifesting your whole life. And all you have to do is, go back in the recesses of your mind and be like, okay, I remember when I wanted this thing and it came into my experience, and you know exactly what you did that convinced yourself that you could have it. Whether you wanted to learn how to drive a car, maybe you wanted a particular job, maybe you wanted to get certain grades, maybe you wanted whatever it was that you saw yourself being and having. The doing was effortless. The doing should have been effortless. Hey, Twitch. Absolutely. You can do anything. The question is, can you believe that it doesn't hurt much? Can you accept that that is pain-free? Because the thing is to say that it's pain-free, right? Don't focus on it hurting. Focus on the fact that it's pain-free. It's free of pain. Make sure you don't resist. Don't resist it. Truly experience it. You know why it be painful? Because your body be tensing up. Because you be going like this. You're resisting it. If you relax and just let them do what they're going to do, let them create the art, you'll notice that there won't be much pain. It's when your body's all tense. Make sure you're relaxed. That's a lot of times why we experience the pain we do, because we resist it. When we surrender to the experience, then we notice painless. Yep. Yep. Just think about it. Anything that you ever, any aches and pains you ever had in your body is because you were resisting and not releasing, not being relaxed. That's how people be stressed, right? People get headaches and all kind of things, different things, aches and pains. It's because they're trying to resist it. You came here for the human experience. It's okay. You know, somebody told us we weren't supposed to feel pain, and so we thought, oh my goodness, this is wrong. You know, the pain shows you how to readjust, right? Tells you it's time for you to shift. Now it's just telling you need to shift. You need to relax more. That's why your body feels pain. It's telling you you're not at ease. You're resisting. Double tap the screen, guys. Double tap the screen. So as we remember who we are, right? Because that's what your time is now, to remember who you are. That's exactly why you have started having the questioning, why you started questioning everything, why the things that you were told about this reality, you started to be like, I feel like something's missing. I feel like, you know, I don't know the truth, the whole truth. I feel like there's more to this than meets the eye. There's something, not whether it came from religion, or maybe some people don't even have a religious background. Some people didn't come from any type of, you know, religious affiliation. But you just started having dreams, you know, you just started, you know, questioning things, and this led you to this book, or it led you to meditate more, to pray more, to seek out, you know, more answers. And now you're discovering that the power you thought was on the outside is really on the inside. That it's your thoughts that creates your reality. That your mindset is the reason why you experience what you experience, right? And when you think back, maybe to your childhood, young adulthood, or whatever, and you saw the different trials, and maybe you had some different, you know, traumatizing experiences, and you can see the correlation between feeling maybe abandonment or neglected, or maybe you feel loved or wanted or understood or accepted, and you saw that those thoughts turned into different experiences. And now you can understand the correlation, like, oh yes, my feeling of abandonment and unwantedness brought about this unwanted experience. And so now you get to realize, if I changed how I think of me, let's see what can be different. Because that's what it's about, proving it to yourself. If I decided to think differently about me, what's going to happen? Because you already had thought less of yourself. You already thought, you know, you already had the, you know, unworthy, undeserving, unloved, not liked, unwanted, whatever, however you were thinking of yourself before, you know, began on this spiritual journey, you know, back to remembering who you are. So, right, I felt that way sometimes with my mom, where I felt not seen and heard with my mom. Yep. And then when you recognize that your thoughts, those thoughts of not being seen, heard, so then you started seeking validation, right? And maybe you started seeking validation. You couldn't get it from your mom, so then you started from other people, right? And even when those people couldn't quite meet your standard, right? And so then you felt disappointment there. And then maybe you went to friends, and maybe you joined, you know, social clubs or organizations where you wanted to be seen and heard and wanted people to, you know, notice you and accept you for who you are. And it's not until you start to accept yourself that you notice other people will start to accept you. It's not until we go within and understand that the love, the validation that we were seeking was never out there. It can only be found within. Because here's the thing, when we say that, you know, other people are the cause for us feeling good about ourselves, when we say that other people are the reason that, we got ahead in life, or, we say, well, if it wasn't for them, and if it wasn't for them, then they have the ability to take it away. They have the ability to snatch it from you because you're saying they are the cause. You never want to give anything outside of you the reason for saying who you are, how you see yourself. Exactly. You don't. Jesus is just a personification of the mind. That's all. Jesus represents the mind, your psyche, your consciousness, your awareness of being. All right? Jesus just means savior. And so you have to ask yourself, well, what saves you? Only you can save you. Only you can validate you. Only you can truly love you. Only you. Right? That song said, only you. Only you. Yeah, I was always the cause because I believe it. What I believe in, what's right is right. And I always stood up for what I believe in. That part, you have to love yourself, and then you have to love everyone else the way you, right. Thing is, a lot of people don't know how to love themselves. So that's what you have to come to the acceptance of who you truly are and redefine love. It really is important that you redefine love, because a lot of the things that we were taught about love just isn't. Most people define love from a fear-based mentality. And so they'll say, well, love hurts. Love is a sacrifice. Love is compromising. Love can be manipulative and controlling. Love is even abusive. Like that. That's not love. You're describing fear and then calling it love. You say, it only took me like 50 years. Me too. I was in my mid-40s, JPC. I was in my mid-40s when I discovered that, I'm the cause. It's me. I'm the problem. It's me. Like Taylor Swift said, it took me to my mid-40s to figure it out. Now I am in my early 50s. Yep. Oh, yes, I'm the cause of already getting through my first year of college. That part. You had the desire, right? You saw yourself succeeding, being successful in your first year. And look at you. You did it. Pat yourself on the back, Caleb. Pat yourself on the back. Say, yes. Yes, I appreciate it. Well, you're both, right? If you think it's a problem, then it's you. If you think you're the solution, then you're right, it's you. Right? Because I say problem as a joke, because I understand that there are no problems, there's only experiences, right? There are no failures, there's only experiences. And each experience gives you clarity about more of what you would like to experience, right? Experience brings clarity. And it says, I want more of that, or I don't want more of that. That's truly it, right? The experience says, more of that, please. No more of that. The thing is, most people don't realize what's the cause of the experience. And so when they realize that it's their thinking, it's their mindset, it's their beliefs that brought about the experience, now they can seek to change it. They no longer have to hold themselves to that standard anymore. Depends on what you want to talk about. Jason. Oh, thank you. So I always said there was no problems, only solutions. Yep. Yeah, we have to stop looking at life as a problem. Just look at it as an experience. But when I say that I'm the problem, I'm saying I'm the one saying it's a problem. So if I'm saying it's a problem, then guess what? It's a problem. But if I stop saying it's a problem, then it won't be one. So if you think it's a problem, you're the problem. You're it. Stop saying you're the problem, then it won't be any problems. Oh, we don't talk about religion here. We talk about the power within. We over here understand that religion binds and the spirit unites. Yeah, I always think I'm a solution, right? I hear you. You say you say you're an atheist. Okay. Well, I'm not an atheist. I believe in a creator. I accept that, the Bible is saying that we're creators, that our thoughts turn to our experiences, that the creative power in man is the mind. And that's what the Bible or the Quran or the Torah or, the Bhagavad Gita or whatever, that's what they call God. We call it God. The creator, the source, the all. So I do reference scripture, but not from a religious aspect. I reference scripture as a spiritual, metaphysical science book. I don't see scripture as a religious book or a history book. It's not historical from a physical standpoint. It's literal from a spiritual standpoint. It's all about the mind. Well, when I say the creator, I'm talking about energy, right? Because what we hear about the creator, we hear that it was has no end and no beginning. Same thing with energy, right? Was never created and thus can never be destroyed. And I believe that's what we are. We are energy. We are energetic beings having a human experience. No, I don't. No, I don't believe in a guy. The source is not flesh. I believe that the invisible force, the consciousness, the intelligence that is, we call that God. But that's only because we've been conditioned to call it God, where others that don't like the terminology God would call it source or Christ consciousness or the Buddha mind or, the all or infinite intelligence, the universe. Many, many names. Because we're trying to define that which is undefinable or name that which is nameless. You said you personally, you just listen to people who are smart. I don't think there's anyone smarter than anyone else. Somebody must maybe more aware, but smarter. That's a judgment I refrain from. I don't think anyone is more intelligent than another. Someone just may be more aware than another. Because how do we really define intelligence? Based on how many books you've read or how much you've experienced? Do we define intelligence through, calling someone a scholar because they read 100 books and it's all, and they have a great understanding intellectually, or they're articulate and they have a broad vocabulary, so that makes them more intelligent than another person who may not know, certain types of words. Oh, okay. I feel you. Yes. Those who are experts in their fields, yes, would have more knowledge than. I can agree with that. Okay. But I don't look to science to confirm anything. I look to my own personal experiences. Not saying that science doesn't, help us be more aware of our physical world. But that's the thing. Science only talks about what it can see, touch, taste, smell, and hear. It only talks about the five senses. I think we're more than our five senses. I think, science has to be willing to go beyond the physical. You said, what do I do for myself to re-energize? That's a very interesting question, JPC, because other than sleep, nothing. Other than making sure I get plenty of rest, because I have sweet sleep. Sometimes I'm well rested off 4 or 5 hours of sleep. Other times it may be 6 to 8 hours, right? But I do meditate, right? I meditate daily. So I do find myself, before going to sleep, before drifting off to sleep, I meditate first thing in the morning when I first wake up. Meditation, spending time with myself, communing with myself, right? I listen to or read, inspirational and metaphysical teachings and literature. Hey, Faye, baby. So you believe in evolution? No, I do not believe I will go somewhere when I die. No. I believe that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, and I believe that this body is not all of who we are. I believe that we are spiritual beings that have a body, but we're not the body. That the body goes back to the earth from which it came, and that the soul, the spirit, that's the invisible, that's the infinite part of us, and that's the energetic field that continues on. Say, do I believe in evolution? Like we evolved from a different type of species? Is that what you mean when you say evolution, that we evolved from a different type of species? That I don't subscribe to. I don't believe that we were like once part of, the ape family or anything like that. I don't agree with that. Because if we evolved from something else, then why does that something else still exist? Right? If we came from, like some people think, from apes, then why are apes still here? If we are the evolution of an ape, then apes should be no longer in existence if that's what we evolved from. Because why are we both experiencing the plane at the same time? So I do question a lot of things. I'm not going to say I have all the answers because I don't. But things like that is what make me go, well, if we came from that, then why does that still exist? If that's what we evolved from, then that means that should be extinct because we are in involvement from that. Right? So but does that mean both can't be true? Seeing all things are possible? Yes. That also can be true. It can be, yes, we evolved from that and they still exist and we're sharing the plane at the same time. That because if all things are possible, then yes, all things are possible. But here's the thing, if we began as apes, we end as apes, right? If that's our beginning, then that has to be our ending. If that's what we started as, that's what we end as. But if I say we started as spiritual beings, our ending will be spiritual beings. But if you say our beginning was an ape, then doesn't that mean our ending has to be an ape? And I accept that we don't know all things, that we are forever, it's a forever unfoldment. I just choose to, what makes sense to me and what I have proved to myself is that it's our thoughts that create our reality. And there are as many worlds as there are people in the world, because everyone is perceiving this reality from a different perspective. So no two people are experiencing the same world at any time. No two people ever. Because everyone has their own individualized consciousness, their own individualized awareness. What I'm aware of and what you will be aware of will be totally different, right? Because you're into evolution and you're into what science has to say about, who we are as beings and how this planet emerged. And so you're going to view life from that perspective. And then I'm going to view life from the metaphysical perspective, saying, well, I accept biblical scripture. I just don't accept it as taught by the religious organizations. I see it as coded language that is figurative and metaphorical allegories and parables, and it's talking about that this universe that we find ourselves in is a holographic universe, that nothing exists outside of your awareness of it. The only thing that exists is the things that you are aware of. It doesn't exist for you unless you can experience it. So that's why we'll always have different worlds and different experiences, and we'll come to different conclusions about life because of the way we perceive it. You say maybe micro evolution. Yeah, so that's what I've accepted. I've accepted that, me and my finite mind, my finite reasoning, I can't perceive everything, but I do believe that there is a higher consciousness within every being known as man, that you have different experiences that open up who and what you are, that you're more than what you can see. That even though we can't see it, doesn't mean it's a non-thing or a non-entity, or that it doesn't exist just because you can't see it. That doesn't mean it isn't real. It just means it's not real for you. It's not part of your personal experience. But that doesn't mean it's not true for someone else. Oh yeah, you can, if you can DM me, you can DM me and you can send it to me. Hey, Elizabeth, you said, what is the mirror effect? I really can't get into it because I really don't know. I just heard people say that they use the mirror technique, right? And I think it's just basically you standing in the mirror and you're talking to yourself and you're saying to yourself what you want, what you're going to confirm that's true about you. But that's just an assumption. I let go of the techniques, Elizabeth. Never did the mirror technique. Just heard people say it, and I glean from the little bit I've heard about it that people are standing in front of the mirror. And basically talking to themselves. Oh, you do mirror work? Well, there you go, Delissa. You want to explain it to us? Because I don't understand it. Okay, thank you, Jason. I'll take a read of it. Yeah, I know. I believe that science knows way more than they share with us, and I believe they hold back because they want us to think we're only physical when they know we're more than physical. They know there's a metaphysical. They know there's stuff beyond the physical. And some of the scientific community has done what you call the double split experiment, and what's the other popular one? You got the double split experiment, and it's another one, but I can't think of it right off the top. You had a friend ask you about it? Okay. Oh, you said you don't know if the mirror effect is something different? Okay. Okay, what is complot theory? I don't know what that is. Like I say, I'm not going to say I don't do a lot of studying of scientific research and scientific, other than high school, which has been many years far removed. That was the last time I really did. Well, when I went to college, I did take anatomy and chemistry because I was going to enter into the nursing program. But and that's been many years too. And I did not try to retain any of that knowledge because once I decided I wasn't going to be a nurse, I'd let that information, go right on through, go right. I didn't try to retain any of it. So, oh, okay. That's okay, Jason. Oh, what's your first language? Okay. That's what I was thinking, Delissa. Okay. I don't know. Oh, it's Dutch. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if that's the same thing what Elizabeth Friend is talking about, the mirror effect. Now, I did see, I don't know, now, Elizabeth, I don't know if you're saying, like, some people were saying they were, like, holding up something over the mirror, like holding up a cover up under the mirror, and somebody would stand, and they still be able to see the person behind the cover in the mirror, and could see whatever they were doing. Are you talking about that mirror effect? Because that was like a YouTube trend at one time where people were holding up covers over the mirror and somebody would stand on the side and they would still be able to see the person holding up the mirror and holding up the cover and still see the person in the mirror. Oh, okay. You're from the Netherlands. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, so you do the mirror technique. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, cool, cool. Yeah, if we don't really get into the scientific, well, I'm gonna say we, specifically me. I really don't study science or what, because like I said, they only want to talk about what they can physically prove. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't want to physically prove anything, because we're all scientists, I feel. We're always experimenting with life, right? And we're always trying to see what's possible for us individually, right? And so a lot of people think that this life is supposed to be a collective walk when actually it's an individual walk. It's your own individualized perspective that you're experiencing. Now, you can create the reality where you can choose to believe what others have said about this life. And you can take their opinions and their personal experiences as truth. And most of the time when we have experienced, when we've done that, we have found ourselves in, not so good places, not having great experiences when we put our trust totally in other people as opposed to putting our faith in ourselves. Yep. We are all scientists, because you're supposed to be proving to yourself who you are. You're not just supposed to just blindly follow someone else. And just because they say, well, this works, this works, this works. Yes, it worked for them. Now you have to prove to yourself that it works for you. Now you have to know who you are and the power that's within you. And this life truly is subjective. As much as people wanted to make it objective, it's subjective and it's relative. It's not objective. It only becomes objective when others can see it, right? When others can say, oh yeah, I see what you're talking about. I see what you mean. You said this would be a thing, and now I get to see it, taste it, touch it, smell it, analyze it, criticize it, judge it. Now I accept what you're saying. But most people will not accept what you're saying unless they can actually see it. Right, science came after. Science is literally catching up. Yep. So I love all things quantum. Not that I understand it all, but it's very interesting. Yes, yes. But what's mainstream, quantum mechanics and quantum physics isn't mainstream, right? That's not mainstream knowledge. They're not going to teach you that in school. You're not going to learn that in your high school, grade school, heck, even some colleges. They're not going to, that's not the focus. Their focus is only proving what they can see with the five, so what they can detect with the five senses. If it can't be detected with the five senses, they're not trying to pass that along. But over here, we're saying there's more to you than your five senses. That you can see without your eyes, you can hear without your ears, and you can speak without your mouth. That right there tells you you're more than the body. Because how can you see without your eyes, hear without your ears, and speak without your mouth? That right there shows you're more than the body. You don't need your vocal cords. You don't need the auditory system to be able to hear. You don't even see with your eyes. You see through your eyes. You see with your consciousness. You see with your own preconceived notions or ideas. That's what you see. You see your stereotypes. You see your judgments, your prejudices, right? That's what you see. But you want to learn to see with love. You want to be able to see with the purity of oneness, of beauty, of joy. That's what you want to learn to see. But we're programmed to operate from fear and distrust and disharmony. That's what we're programmed in. And that's the part most people would like to, say, well, that's not true. That's all imagination. That's not real. And I would tell you that your imagination is just as real as your physical world. Your imagined world is just as real as your physical world, because everything that is in your physical world was once imagined. And that's the part they don't tell us. They don't tell us that it's your thoughts. That everything you see in this world, somebody had to think about it first. Someone had to imagine it. Someone had to imagine the airplane. Somebody had to imagine the automobile. Somebody had to imagine the houses that you're living in. The clothes that you're wearing, the shoes on your feet, right? All of this had to be in somebody's mind before it became something that you personally experienced. And so we sometimes we want to try to argue that point, and we like to say, well, that's God. That you're trying to take credit for God, and you're trying to take the position of God, when that's what Scripture is telling you. That's what the Bible's telling you, that you're God, that you are the creator of your experiences, of your reality. That man, the creative power in man, is the mind, that we communicate with the invisible. That the Bible tells you that out of the invisible, all things that are seen are not made by things which do appear, right? You can't see energy. You see the effects of it. You can't see, consciousness. You can't see breath. You can't see spirit. You can't see, though. You only see the effects of it. You said you created the heavy drinking X. Well, who's calling them a heavy drinking X? Is that not a judgment? And that judgment is you are the one having that thought. Are you trying to grasp his actions, or are you trying to define them and judge them and analyze them and categorize them? Label them? Or do you just see his actions as experiences? Well, you can't change him. You can only change your thoughts about him. You're not experiencing him. You're experiencing your personal thoughts about him. You're saying he's wrong for doing that. Why is he doing that? He should be doing something differently. Can't he do something else better with his time? Oh my goodness, he drinks too much. Who says he drinks too much? You say he drinks too much. You're judging it. I'm not saying we all aren't guilty of it. I'm not saying we don't all do it. Just realize you're the one doing it, though. Take accountability that you're the one thinking it. And if you want it to change, you have to change what you're thinking. Because you're not experiencing him, you're experiencing your thoughts about him. I was getting food. Thought I saw his friend, but right. Oh wow. Isn't that something? Don't want to. So we still live together. It's hard not to judge. Okay. It isn't about ignore. It's about change. It's about changing what you're thinking. That's what it's about. It's not about ignoring what's happening. It's about giving it a different perspective. It's about just be the observer. And use your imagination lovingly. Using your imagination lovingly. So think on whatever is pure, whatever is noble, whatever is just, whatever is a virtue. There be anything of good report, anything of praise. Think on these things. It's how you're thinking about it, that's what you're going to keep recreating. So if you keep saying that he's a drunkard or he overdrinks every weekend, then that's going to be your experience. He's going to continue to overdrink every weekend because that's what you said it. You said that's what he does. That's who he is. He overdrinks. He's an overdrinker. The thing is, if it didn't bother you, if you didn't matter it, then you wouldn't mind it. Like, why does it bother you? Why do you see it as a thing that he needs to change? Right, we observe. Yes. I feel that. I still care, right? So when you still care, you want to handle him with care. Right? You want to handle him with care. Be gentle. No condemning, which no shaming, no guilting. Handle with care. Yep. Like, how would you want to be seen because this is about being empathetic, right? Because he literally is you pushed out. So now you have to place yourself in his shoes because literally you are in his shoes because you're thinking of him in this way. So how would you like to think of him? How would you want to be thought of? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So is this how you would want someone describing you and talking about you and judging and, analyzing your choices and your behavior in life? And I know this is, as many people say, better, easier said than done, but with practice, with patience, which is perseverance, with compassion, with grace, with love, all things are possible. Right? When you truly can put yourself in the place of the other, because there is no other. So see yourself as him because he is you. You are him, right? There's no separation. There's only unity of the spirit. So how would you want to be perceived? How would you want to be talked about? How would you want people to handle you? Hey, the real Cheryl Craig. Hello. I feel that, natural. Hey, you got to do right. There's no wrong or right. Right? There is no judgment there. Exactly. You have to do what's best for you. Yep. Because that experience gives clarity. You have to do what's best for you. Yep. Because that experience gives clarity. It's just about now decide to no more judgment though, right? No condemnation, right? Because when we judge, we are judged. When we condemn, we are condemned. But when we forgive, we receive forgiveness, right? Yes. Yep. My thing is when any decision you do it from a place of love. Don't live in regret or remorse. There's no shame. There's no guilt, right? Be free. Be free. No turning back. No looking back, right? Only perceive the experience from a loving place. That's all you want to do. When you think of the experience, perceive it from a loving place. Perceive it from a new place of mind. Have a radical change of mind when you think of the situation, when you think of the experience. Oh, okay. Okay. Activated. Yes. Yes. We are about to have a book club. Yep. Yep. Tomorrow we'll be kicking off the book club just to touch base, and to see, what book we're going to start reading. And then we'll also decide on a date. I do want to do the book club on Sundays, but I realized the 4th, this Sunday, is too soon. You want to give people time enough to read however far we're going to read in the book that we choose. And then the next Sunday is Mother's Day, so I have to get a feel for how people feel about having the book club on Mother's Day, right? Oh, you had The Power of Subconscious Mind? Nice, nice. There is a PDF version of Busting Loose from the Money Game. You also can find that book on Audible as well. That's what I'll probably be reading. If that book ends up being the winner, I have that book on Audible, so I'll probably listen to it on Audible. Oh, you got Being Supernatural? Okay. The 5 books we voted on, it's 5 books that we voted on. So let me go to the Facebook page and let you guys know. If you want to vote on the book that we'll read, go join my Facebook group. It's called Prosperous Living with Toyia. It's the same name as my YouTube channel, and the link to my YouTube channel is in the bio. My name, Toyia, is spelled T as in Tom, Oya. Prosperous Living with Toyia. And so the 5 books that we have is The Power of the Subconscious Mind, Your Infinite Power to Be Rich, Busting Loose from the Money Game, Don't Believe Everything You Think, and The 4 Agreements. Those are the four books that we're looking into. Hey, Ivory. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You have that one too? Okay, cool. Double tap the screen, guys. Double tap the screen. That's how TikTok pushes the live out. Double tap the screen. Share the live. Oh, and the 4 Agreements. See, I haven't read the 4 Agreements. I haven't read that. I heard many people talk about it. I heard it's kind of a short book, right? Yes. Yeah, Yeah, we did one before. We did Neville Goddard's 5 Lessons. That turned out to be really, really, really good. Neville Goddard's 5 Lessons. You say it's very short, the 4 agreements? Okay. Okay. Cool. That's what's up. Oh, there we go. No Mud, No Lotus. Okay, I haven't heard of that one. Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot of great books out there that will help you on, you know, this journey, give us a better understanding of the power within us. And it's all about application, right? That's what it all comes down to. Are you applying this truth? Are you applying what you're learning? Are you accepting what are you making wine, as Neville Goddard would say? Are you making wine? Because sometimes we consume a lot of information and we just keep consuming and consuming and consuming, and then we never apply it. So you just don't want to keep hearing the word. You also want to be a doer. You also want to prove to yourself that you are the power, that you are the operant power, that living in the end is what justifies the means. See, The Secret Science, The Stellar Man, and The Science of Love, all from John. Okay, John Bangs. Okay. Yep, never heard of any of those books. Never heard of the author. Cool, cool. So they just open a bill and they download, as they call it. They say, it's better to ask forgiveness than permission. And I'm like, it's better to live in gratitude than in wanting. That part. Come in.
They're not coming yet.
Say be keeping stuff, huh? Right. Knowledge without application. And we have to be willing to apply. You have to prove it to yourself. You have to be the scientist. You have to experiment with it to find out what works for you, right? What resonates with you. Remain faithful to your assumption. That's really what it comes down to. When you're done with all the techniques, and I know you have many to choose from, when it is all said and done, it's about remaining faithful to your assumption. That's it. Be faithful to the unseen reality. Impress that subconscious, whether you do robotic affirming, whether you do the 369, whether you do the mirror technique, whether you're scripting or journaling, whatever, terminology you want to use, whether you're doing the SATS technique or whatever you say you're doing, vision boards on your phone and you're using Pinterest to whatever. When you're done with all of that, make sure you remain faithful to it. You persist. You know for certain that it's already done. You're not trying to figure out how and when, because it's already done. Breaking thought patterns. Well, if you say it's hard, it is done unto you as you believe. So now you have to tell yourself that the more I practice it, the more I apply it, the easier it gets, right? The more I practice it, the more I apply it, the easier it gets. Light and easy, light and easy. And you know what makes it hard? Why we think it's hard? It's because we analyze and we criticize. Instead of when we recognize the old thought pattern, instead of just saying, oh, that's old, I don't agree with that anymore, we try to justify why we are having the thought. You don't need to justify it. You know why you're having a thought. It's habitual. That's why. You're used to doing it. You're used to thinking that way. And now you just have to remind yourself, oh, I choose not to think that way anymore. It's really that simple. It doesn't have to be complicated at all. You don't have to have a back and forth, a long, deep conversation trying to analyze and justify and criticize. All you have to do is say, I don't think that way anymore. And then choose the new thought. Yes. Because it really is about talking to yourself instead of judging yourself. We have a tendency to want to go to the judgment zone as opposed to just change its zone, just revise its zone. We have to be willing to go more to the revision zone instead of to the criticizing zone. No, don't criticize it. No, you don't have to analyze it. No justification. You don't have to do any of that. Just have to decide what it is that you want and see yourself with it, right? And so there are many ways that you could talk to yourself to convince yourself that you have it, right? There's many ways you can see yourself doing it. You can see yourself having it. You can see yourself being it. You can see yourself, talking through it, talking about it, right? Which I find for me is the easiest way, but some people find visualization is the easiest thing for them to do, right? They're like, oh, I can just lay in my bed and I can just see it happening in my mind, and I know that it's done. Me, I say, well, all I have to do is talk about it. Just keep talking about it. Talking as though that's what it is. Just keep feeding my mind with that belief that, yep, that's who I am. Yep. Now that I'm that. Yep. Say, yep. That judgment zone, boy. That's what keeps a lot of us stuck in the old pattern, as someone was saying. That's what keeps you stuck in the old pattern, because you're trying to justify the thoughts. The thoughts don't need justification. They just need changing. That's it. You don't need to justify the thoughts. Just change them. And it comes from being aware. That's where your power lies, in your awareness, right? You can't change if you're not aware that you're doing it. That's why Neville Goddard tells you to what? Do a mental assessment. Pay attention to your thoughts. You're not observing the thoughts to judge them or to criticize them or to feel guilt or shame about them. You just want to pay attention to how you really think about some things, right? Like, what do you really think about money and wealth? Right? What do you really think about, whatever it is you're desiring, relationships, health? What do you really think about those things? How do you really talk about yourself? What is your real self-concept? Like, how do you really think of yourself? Do you really actually operate in insecurity and low self-esteem? Are you always seeking validation outside of self? Like, be honest with be real, right? Because and it's not about judging or like that's true. It's about recognizing how you see yourself. So if it's not from the true place, you can change it. Because the true place is that you're enough, you're complete, you're whole, you're perfect, you're abundant, you're healthy, you're wealthy, you're wise. That's the truth. That's who you truly are. You're pure positive energy, as Abraham Hicks would say, at your core. That's who you are. And anything else is the error. If you're thinking anything less than being perfect, that's the error. That's not true. Say, I'm on the highway to the no judgment zone. Yes. Say, Top Gun. Yep, change my thoughts, stay aware. Yep, it's so, because that's where you're going to find your true freedom at. when you can truly release the judgment. And here's the thing, it doesn't say that you shouldn't judge. It tells you if you're going to judge, use righteous judgment. And so what does righteousness in scripture mean? Right thinking. And how do you think right about a thing? With love, with compassion, with understanding, with forgiveness, with empathy. That's how you operate in the truth of a thing. That's thinking right about a thing. Thinking from its highest ideal, which is love. The highest ideal is with love. The thing is that most people don't know what love looks like, though. That'd be the problem. People think love is supposed to hurt. You're supposed to sacrifice. You're supposed to compromise. You're supposed to control and manipulate. That's fear. That's fear-based mentality. Love is patient and kind. It's not self-seeking. It is not proud or boastful. Love keeps no records of wrong, right? Love is not easily angered, right? Love does not rejoice in evil, but rejoices in truth. Love protects all things, believes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. Right. Think the best of a thing. Hey, Lisa. That's what it is. Double tap the screen. Oh, y'all almost hit 10K. Yes, almost hit 10K. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that's what it comes down to. And it's like Abraham Hicks would say, learn how to be easy with yourself. We get so down on ourselves when we feel like we've missed the mark. When we feel like, oh my goodness, I had such a bad day. I was triggered. I had a downward spiral. And we like to talk about the misstep. No, let go of the misstep. Let go of the fact that you fell off the horse. Just get back up and dust yourself off. You don't have to waddle in the self-pity and the guilt and the, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did that. Oh my goodness, I don't understand why that happened. No. So what? You turned left when you should have turned right. Now just turn right. Don't keep turning left. If you recognize you turned left and that was not the direction you wanted to go, why are you going to keep turning left? Why are you going to stay left when you realize that you're left and you meant to go right? Why wouldn't you just adjust and go right? Hey, user 433. Say, was I only a Christian in theory? In theory, I would say all Christians are Christians in theory. That's what I would say. I say all Christians, all religious folks, whatever affiliation they are aligning themselves with, is in theory. They're hoping they're right. They're wishing it was true. But I know Christian theology is a fear-based teaching, and not just Christianity. All religious organizations, all organized religion is fear-based. All of it. I don't care what religion you name, what religion you list. If they're teaching it from a literal perspective and not telling you that the power you're seeking for is found within you, then it's fear-based. Because you always have to worry about if God is going to punish you or not. And that's a way to try to control your mind, control your actions. Instead of teaching love and unity, it teaches division and that God has favorites. That the energy, the consciousness that is the creator of all is favoring one being over another. And then when you point out how, divisive that mindset is, and you point out the contradictions in that teaching, then the only justification they have is, well, it's God and you can't question it. Or those people weren't true, Christians or Muslims or Jews. They were fake. They didn't really, understand what was being taught and what was being said. They just said that they were, but they really weren't. Right, the 0120. You can probably look it up on Google, find out what their true beliefs are. Do they even believe in a heaven or a hell? Do they even believe in an ultimate punishment? They probably don't even believe in an ultimate, because not all Christians believe in a hell. There are Christians that believe there's nothing beyond the grave. There are Christians that say that the Bible does not teach hell. So not all Christians believe in the same teaching. Cause I know it was when I started doing my videos on TikTok. I used to have this Christian. She used to comment under my posts a lot, and I was saying, the problems I had with Christianity, and she was like, the Bible doesn't teach hell. There's nothing beyond the grave. I was like, oh, I thought all Christians believed in a hell. She was like, no, we don't believe it. I didn't even ask her what denomination she was. I was just, blown away that whatever denomination she belonged to didn't teach eternal damnation and didn't teach that God was sending you to hell. Yeah. Realizing our thoughts create reality gives us the power to think about it differently. That's it. It's about thinking about it differently, coming from a different perspective, deciding that, yes, I don't want it. And that's the thing. Most people don't, because they don't realize that it's the thoughts that's creating the reality. They're kind of thrown for a loop, and they keep looping the same cycle, right? They think that it's something that you do on the outside to bring about a different result, and they don't realize that really the change comes from within. And once you make the change within, then the change happens without. But most people are taught to work outside in as opposed to inside out. That's why the Christ is said to say, they will come saying, we casted out demons in your name. We fed the hungry. We did this in your name. We did that in your name. And he's going to say, away from me, you evildoers. I never knew you. Right? Because they thought it was an outer work. It was never about what you do on the outside. It's about what you do on the inside. The change can only come from within. It does not come from without. When you go within, you'll never go without. But that's what most Christians believe. They believe, oh, I feed the hungry, I help give shelter, I give to charities, I do this, I do that. But their mindset hasn't changed. They think that feeding the hungry, here's the thing. When you feed the hungry and still see them as hungry, what do you think is the greater ill? Or, to still see them in lack? Because if you're feeding them and you're gifting them with these things, with the outer things, but you still have the mindset they're in lack, you haven't forgiven them. You haven't operated in love. Because to truly forgive them is to see them differently, to not see them as needing help, see them as abundantly, to see them abundantly blessed, to see them not lacking anything, seeing that all of their needs are met. That's how you really want to see people. When you see a homeless person, you don't want to see them as homeless. You want to see them as sheltered. When you see someone hungry, you don't want to see them as hungry. You want to see them as well fed. They believe in hell. Yep, say the phone call comes from within the home. I like that, Elizabeth. Oh, they don't believe in hell? Wow, so the Seventh-day Adventists, Universalism, and Unitarianism don't believe in hell. Wow. Right, who said that? That's why it's 45,000 denominations, because they don't all agree. They do not all agree. They do not all agree. Oh, really? They don't believe in... So what was the fear mongering then? Okay. Then why are Jehovah's Witnesses so fearful, and why did they believe that the world was coming to an end, and all of these prophecies of, you know, the 1975 prophecy? Then what were they afraid of if they knew that hell wasn't real? What were they in fear of? Like what? What? That wasn't even like what? You don't believe you going in hell, but somebody can fear you into selling all your stuff because of the end of the world. What do you care about the end of the world? You gonna die eventually, you know, die anyway. You think you gonna die anyway? Like what? Oh my goodness. Okay, their big thing is only Armageddon. Okay, so they didn't want to be here when shit hit the fan, as they say. They didn't want to be here when shit hit the fan. They didn't want to have to experience, quote unquote, tribulation. Is that what it was? They don't want to experience tribulation? Stay alive till 75. That is so fun. Oh my goodness. I haven't heard any recent prophecies about the end of the world. Like, I haven't heard anyone say give a specific date lately. Have you all heard of a specific date lately where they're like, oh, this year, 2050? Are they saying, like, have they given a specific date lately? Like when they think that the world is going to have this cataclysmic ending? Say, no ma'am, Miss Pam. But wait a minute, Elizabeth. You know Jehovah's Witnesses only believe in 144,000. And I know they have a role way longer than 144,000. They think there's only a chosen few. They don't think everybody going to paradise. The last herd was 2,000. Okay. Yeah, that was the last herd. Was 2,000. Yep. Yeah, it's about time for another prophecy. I don't know if we'll hear it in our lifetime, but that's 2 in my lifetime. I was born in 72, so I was, just a babe. I was just a toddler in 75. But fast forward to 2000. I never bought into that though. That whole stocking up for stuff and making sure that, you had everything. But here's the thing. I do hear people saying that we do need to stock up again. I have been hearing that on the TikTok, that we need to prepare because something is going to happen because of that outage that happened in Spain. Was it Spain that they had that outage? And they claimed that that's going, is it something that was in correlation with the Pope's passing? Because, right, Pope Francis, he passed, right? And then soon after that, they had like an outage. And it was in Spain, right? And so I did see like 1 or 2 videos. And as soon as I heard them saying, make sure I scrolled up. I was like, Because I was on somebody else's live and somebody was on there saying, yeah, this happened. And they told us, you want to make sure you have enough water and you have enough this and you have enough that. And I was like, oh, Lord. And then I saw another video starting to say that, and I hurried up and scrolled past it. I'm like, they always trying to prepare you for doom and gloom, boy. They love to be like, it's just never going to be enough. It's going to be hard to find this and hard to find that. That mentality, boy, is something else. That's why they knock on all doors. Did you see Sinners? So they do like the vampires. Can I come in? Can I come in and talk to you? Just let me in. We're all one big happy family. Let me get in there. Let me get in there and talk to you. Come on. Just let me talk to you. And the only way they can come in is if you invite them in. Them vampires had me rolling, though. Them vampires was like, what? Say, wait, not recruiting people knowing they not going. That part. Only 144,000, but they sitting up here recruiting people. Keep recruiting folks, knowing it's only a choice few going. And you hoping that by the luck of the draw, through the lottery ticket, you gonna make it in. Oh. But now let me leave the JWs alone. Let me leave the JWs alone. Let them have their beliefs, you know. Let the JWs have their beliefs. No harm, no foul, I guess. Hopefully it's no harm. I don't really, again, I don't understand how the fear mongering is even a thing since they don't believe in hell. You know, I don't get it, but okay. You see them on your Ring camera all the time? I don't see them in my neighborhood. I've never had a JW come to my neck of the woods. Now, when I lived in the city, like when my grandparents, because my grandmother was a Jehovah's Witness, I saw it more then. And that's when I was younger, much younger. I didn't know they still did that. I didn't know people still come around trying to witness to you. What they call it, the watchtower. They try to give you those watchtower pamphlets. Oh, they think they're going to be heaven on all, but only 100. All go into space. So 140. So it's the heaven, the paradise. So it's gonna be heaven on earth, and then it's gonna be those who actually gonna get to be with God. Okay. So, okay, got you. That makes a little bit more sense now. So they think all of them going to heaven, but only a chosen few get to be with God. You know, some people is gonna have to be like, oh, at least I'm in heaven. I wasn't chosen to be with the Lord, but at least I get to be on heaven. I get the consolation prize of being on earth. Okay. So they stand at the metro. Hey, voicemails. You was born into it, so you know all about it. Oh, wow. You say you see them all the time, Joy? Okay. Oh, they're only men. Only the men get to go. It's only 144,000 men. Boy, that patriarchy got to just rear its ugly head, don't it? No women, huh? God only want to be with a bunch of men. That is crazy. And very misogynistic sound, yeah. Right. Okay. So they're a lot like the Hebrew Israelites, right, Joy? Then they're a lot like the Hebrew is, because they don't think women hold no place either. They will, boy, they want women's heads to be covered when the word is being taught. If somebody is praying, you got to put that covering on the head. They don't want women teaching either. They really, you know, they like women need to know their place. And it's not in ministry. We still stuck in the early we haven't made it out of the 50s, early late 1800s. 12 men. Well, I guess it would only be 12. It would have to be only 12 men. It would only have to. They're like, well, Jesus only had 12 disciples, and none of them were women. So I guess that's what they were getting from, right? That Jesus had 12 disciples, and none of them mentioned in the Bible were women. So they're just going by what the gospel said, right? The gospel said Jesus had 12, and he wasn't repping no women. So we were remaining true to the gospels. We're making sure no women get to hold any authority, because Jesus only rocked with the 12, and none of them was women. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, voice bells. Oh wow. Yeah. And that's the thing, is when they try to use that demonic, everything is demonic. Everything is demonic. It's just like, no, you're demonic. You're the demon. Why you want to call everything else the demon? You're the demon. You're actually the demon that I need to be aware of. Who's going to protect me from you? Because you're actually the demon I need to be concerned about. Right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, they don't believe Jesus was a savior, right? They don't believe in the Trinity, right? They only believe in Jehovah. Yeah. And then I was watching someone's live, and they said Hova means to destroy. The Hova of Jehovah, the Hova part, means to ruin, to destroy. See, it's written in the words, right? But if people just won't go past what they're told, and we're trained not to question, not to be free thinkers, not to be critical thinkers. That's why they train us as children about who we are supposed to see as authority, right? And we place your elders in a place of authority, right? If they're so many years older than you, right? They have the authority, right? Your government has the authority, right? Your doctors have the authority, right? Like we have this, your school system has the authority. So then, and you're taught, don't question authority. If they're telling you something, you just supposed to listen and obey. Listen and obey. We're taught that very early in life. Listen and obey. No question. Don't question. Just do what I tell you to do. Be seen and not heard. Just go about your way. Look down. Don't look up. Do what I told you to do, and that's it. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. But that's why so many people are leaning into the divine feminine, right? So now you have the masculine energy that has usurped authority. Now they're saying, well, let's change sides. Let's now make it the divine feminine. When it's not a either or, it's a both. It should be both in operation. It shouldn't be one over the other. It should be a unified thing, right? You say, as an Aquarius, I could never. I heard that on 120. As an Aquarius, I could never. I heard that. Absolutely. Inner union. That. Oh, that part. The old 120. Why do people vote if the Electoral College can just choose? Right. They give you the illusion. You get the illusion of choice. The illusion. And they really go hard trying to make you think that you have a choice. But if the 2000 the 2000 election didn't tell you, is it 2000, 2004? When did the 2000 election, right? That was Gore versus Bush, right? When that 2000, if that didn't show you anything, if that didn't show you right there that they they chose not to even count votes and said, yep, we giving it to this dude right here. And how Gore didn't even fight it. He was like, well, they decided not to count the votes. They took it to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court said, yeah, we're going to give it to him. And the people was like, okay, nothing we can do. The judges say he gets to be the president. I guess we just got to let him be the president then. If that didn't tell us that that your votes don't mean anything, I don't know what other evidence you need. Oh. Oh, voice bells. I know this has to be very, very challenging for you. So now, voice bells, you're in a place where you have to be still, right? Yes, sending lots of love. Yes. Now all you have is your mind, right? That's where now you're going to have to trust. This is where, see, now you have no other choice but to be still, right? And now you can truly begin to focus within through meditation, because as much as it may sound like woo-woo, or you need more than meditation and you need more than, I'm telling you, you're in this space so you can get to know and trust you. There's nowhere to go but within. Nowhere to go but within, right? And as you go to sleep, this is your meditation. That the guidance is shown to you what to do. That the answer that you're looking for will be revealed to you without question. You won't miss the answer. The answer will come. And I'm going to tell you someone if you're looking for some inspiration and really want to know, like you may be struggling, like how to say it, what to say, listen to Dr. Joseph Murphy. Look up Dr. Joseph Murphy on YouTube. And he has some meditations, some prayers that you can say as you sleep, as you're going to sleep, so that you don't miss the direction. You don't miss the direction. How to pray for peace, how to pray for guidance, how to pray for what to do next. What should you do in this moment? That you're guided, and that the answer, that it won't pass you by. You won't overlook it. You will plainly see in which way to go. What's your next step? Yep. Yes, money comes to me easily. Money comes in fast. Money loves my company, and when it comes, it lasts. Yes, money comes to me easily. Money comes in fast. Money loves my company, and when it comes, it lasts. Yes, yes. Yes. Oh, yes, you can cancel it out, because you have to choose to just think differently. It really, and you have to keep choosing to think differently. You have to keep choosing it and keep choosing it and keep choosing it. But I'm telling you, the best time to do it is as you're going to sleep. When you first waking up in the morning, before you grab a phone, before you do anything, you know, lay in that bed and be still. Commune with yourself. Meditation is key, because that's the best way to reprogram that subconscious mind. To speak peace, speak abundance, speak right answers, speak direction. Absolutely. That's it. But your voice bells, you have the answer now. You have the answer now. And you're not alone. I know you may feel like life is like really lifing right now, but just know it's because of fear. And I want you to let go of the fear and claim peace and security and safety. To claim it now, that you're at peace, that you're safe, and that you have direction, that you are guided with love and with surety. Because really, when we can settle the mind, get still, and in the beginning, yes, your mind may be all over the place, but once you want to get in that quiet space, maybe listen to some meditation music to help settle you down, to help you get in that still place, to get the mind focused. But now it's time to speak the truth. And then the truth is that everything that you're experiencing is part of, it's coming from old beliefs. It's coming from old fears. It's coming from, habitual way of thinking of life. When you operate in that state of abandonment and neglect and not feeling loved and unwanted, that's where these experiences come from. So now, in order to change that, you have to have new thoughts about yourself. Yes, surrender. Yep, look for many moments of joy you can find and stay in the attitude of gratitude as much as you can. Yes. And you will see it changes in an instant, on a dime, in a blink of an eye. It really does change. It really does change in the blink of an eye, in an instant. The moment you asked, the moment it came to mind, the moment you said it, it was done. It was done. No. There's nothing fixed, Eden. The moment you change it was the moment it changed. The moment you that's what forgiveness and repentance is. That's why we're given revision and forgiveness. Because everything is changeable. Everything is mutable. Nothing is fixed in this dream world. This world is a simulation. It's a dream state. And yes, it feels real for the experience. Yes, it does feel real, but claim your power. Remind yourself, I created it, I can recreate it. I created with thought, and how do I change it? With thought. Claim your power. Speak the life you want to have and then remain faithful to it. Yep, before I asked. Before it even, because your Father knows what you have need of. But you do have to ask, and when you ask, it is always given. The thing is, can you believe it? Can you accept it? Be open to receive the blessing. Yeah. Own it, voice bells, own it. Give your attention, say, yes, this experience, I'm so powerful. I created this experience and it scared the shit out of me. Now I'm going to release it. Now, yes, this is what happened. It took place, and now I'm going to change it. Face it. And then decide what you want. And it's okay to cry. It's okay. That's tell yourself, okay, this is part of the human experience. This is part of being human. The frustration, the disappointment, the fear, the anxiety. That's part of that's the limitation. But now you got to remind yourself, but I'm God. I'm God, but I'm God. Some people like to say, but God, but God. You can say, but God, if that makes it resonate more with you. I have the power to think differently, and I choose to. Do you have any favorite scriptures that you hang your head on, voice bells? Do you have any favorite scriptures that resonate with you? Okay. Okay. So you have the money now. Right. Claim it. That's it. It's yours. Whatever you need is already belongs to you. Whatever you're claiming is already yours. It's all about living in the now. It's about living in the now. Yep, it's okay. You just can't stay there. Absolutely. So you cried 100. Mm-hmm. Eden, you have to start thinking of the present moment right now. The present moment is that all is well, right? Eden and voice bells, get in the present moment. Like right now, in this moment, right now. I'm talking about this moment, right now, in this moment. Not what happened yesterday, not what happened earlier today, not what may happen tomorrow. In this moment, right now. Claim all is well, because all is well. Because if you can be honest, all is well right now. Things may not be as you think physically from the third dimensional perspective, but fourth dimensionally in your mind, life is just as you desire for it to be. And that's real. You have to say in your mind, in your imagination, life is just as you desire for it to be. And you have to be willing to live from that state. Live from within. Close your eyes and see your life just as you desire for it to be. Can you see your life? Can you speak of your life as you desire for it to be. No more talking about old thoughts, what happened yesterday, what happened 2 weeks ago, what may happen tomorrow. No, we're speaking the life we want to have now, in this moment, right now. Speak those things that be not as though they were. So I am safe. I am abundant. I am well. I am prospering. I am loved. I am powerful. I am more than enough. I'm experiencing exactly what I say I want because I already have it. It's already done. You don't know the how. It's not up for you to know the how. It's not up for you. And here's the thing, voice bells. You're going to have to recenter your mind to you and take your mind off of him. You're still giving the power to the circumstances. And I need you to give the power to you. You are the power. You keep saying what he did, you're going to have to take the attention off of him. It's not about him. It's about you. Your mind, your emotional health, your spiritual. You are God just having a human experience. And I need you to recenter into the state of being God. Focus back on the God state. Get back in the God state. And claim what it is you want. Not what happened. Because you're talking about what happened is giving life to what happened. And I need you to talk about what it is you want, not what it is you don't want. The more you keep talking about what you don't want, you're making that valid. I need you to focus on what it is you do want and make that valid. Right, and your word will not return unto you void. Right. And they're not bad thoughts. Stop calling them bad thoughts. Because death isn't real. They're not bad thoughts. They're old thoughts. They're erroneous thoughts, but not bad thoughts. You're thinking in error. Now it's time to live in truth. And the first thing to do is to stop judging your thoughts. Stop judging your beliefs. They don't serve you. You don't need to judge them. They don't serve you. Right. Energy never dies. Absolutely. Because you're already living a long life with them now. Are you not still present in this moment right now? Are you and him are you not alive right now in this moment? In this moment right now, are you both not present? Because you only have now. That's all you have. You'll never have any other moment than now. So are you not living with them now, presently speaking? Yes, the 0120. Hey, I am Star Quality. Oh, yes, Alyssa. Saying that all things work together for your good. Cynthia. All things work together for your good. For we know that all things work together for the good. Well, Eden, we're telling you to stop talking about it. Stop talking about what you used to talk about. Talk about what you want. Let go of what you said. No, here's the thing. Consciousness doesn't care what you said 10 minutes ago, 5 days ago, 2 years ago. It only cares about what you're saying now. What are you giving your attention to now? It doesn't matter what you said 5 years ago. It doesn't matter what you said 2 weeks ago. The only thing that matters is the present moment. That's it, because that's all you ever have. So there is no past. There is no future. The only place where past and the future exists is in your mind. So if you stop thinking of the past and stop giving energy to the future, it would have no power. Yeah, the thing is that, Eden, we're giving you the tools, but you keep fighting for limitation. We've given you the tools of what you can say, what you can do, but when you fight for limitation, you get to keep it. When you have to stop fighting for the limitation. We're telling you that long life, prosperous life, good life is yours. Claim it. It's not about what happened yesterday. There is no tomorrow, because when tomorrow comes, it will still be today. So tomorrow doesn't exist, because when it comes, you're going to call it today. So, and then when today comes, continue to speak of long life, a beautiful, healthy life with your partner. Right. Because now all you have to do is continue to be thankful for long life. I'm thankful for this long, blissful, happy, beautiful, wonderful life. My partner and I are experiencing a beautiful, long life together. It's so wonderful. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it wonderful? That's how you should be speaking. Isn't it wonderful that I get to experience this beautiful, long, healthy, prosperous life with the love of my life, which is myself and my partner? Absolutely. Oh, you're welcome, Natural. Thank you. We have to train ourselves to speak the life that we want to experience and make it natural to us. And like the 0120 says, you have to go to sleep in that state, awaken in that state. Impress the subconscious as you go to sleep, and you'll impress that subconscious. You'll find yourself dreaming about it. You'll find yourself dreaming about the state, dreaming about the solution, dreaming about the answer, because you have impressed it upon your subconscious so much. I dream so much about sharing this. I had a dream last night that I was talking to Beyonce and Serena Williams about this. Why Beyonce and Serena Williams? I have absolutely no idea. I mean, I follow Serena Williams on my Instagram. I listen to Beyonce, but I'm not like a fan. I'm not part of the Beehive. Maybe because we were talking about Beyonce yesterday. I don't know. But I was with them last night in my dream. We were talking about this truth. Oh, he said you could do it last night. You could taste it. All right. Oh. There are no past thoughts. The past, I just told you, the past doesn't exist. The past doesn't exist. It's only, you only have now. When you talk about the past, you talk about it now. When you speak of the future, you speak of it now. It only exists in the mind. That's the only place it exists. Oh, the times vary. Thank you so much, Ashe. Normally I go during the day between 10 and 11 o'clock Central Standard Time. I don't always come on at night. The nights vary. But it'll be sometime, anywhere between 6 and 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So this is going to be a long comment, but to the mind. That's okay. Oh, thank you, Dim Soul. Thank you. I always enjoy communing with you guys. It's always a great time. We always have a good time. We can uplift and help one another on this journey, on this holographic experience. We have to remember that we're the power. And I know when life gets a little challenging, it's easy to forget that we're causing the experience. But if we can just remember and reclaim our power, remember who we are, remember that we're the operant power, and we get to shape shift. We get to alchemize reality, right? We get to transform it through our mind. Our mind is what will shape, help us to shape shift, to shift identities, to shift realities. That's all we're doing. We're shifting in and out of different realities. And at any time you have the ability to shift out of reality, and it happens in an instant, in the twinkling of an eye, it happens. Just like that. The question is, can you believe it? You got to believe it. That's the only condition you're given in scripture. You're not given to figure out how it's going to happen or when. And I just told you when, in an instant, in a blink, in the twinkling of an eye, it happens. Your only condition is to have faith, to trust it, to know it, to assume it. Assume it's already done. Hey, Teresa. So I was thinking of how when I go get a bottle for dinner, I feel so embarrassed, like everyone knows. Both times I'm going to the liquor store alone, and both times it's me having the thought and creating, the whole time. Because no one's judging you but you. No one's judging you but you. That's what you have to remember. No one else exists in your reality but you. Everyone else is just a figment of your imagination. They're populated there to give you the experience of whatever you've been putting your focus on. You've been putting your focus on the fears, the doubts, the limitations, the angst, the depression. Then someone comes in to fill that void. Someone comes in, you've been anxious, you've been neglected, you feel unworthy, you feel undeserving, you lack self-confidence. Let me come show you what that looks like. Let me come play my part to help you with that reality. I'm going to help you play this part, and you're going to play it perfectly. It's going to be greater than what you imagined. And then if you have the confidence, the peace, the joy, the love, the abundance, and you know that's your state, that's your birthright, then you're going to populate your holographic reality with those people that's going to confirm to you, yes, you're abundant. Yes, you're full of confidence. Yes, you're secure. Yes, you're safe. Yes, you're wealthy. Yes, then the world is going to confirm that version of you. Whatever version you're giving your attention to, you populate your reality with confirmation of that version of you. Yep, nobody knows your fears but you. Yep. So write that again, write the last statement again. I don't know what that's saying. So you say, what does the 3D being lagged specifically means? Is that what you're asking? Okay, the thing is, don't be concerned with the 3D. Live your life. Here's the thing. The reason why people focus on the 3D is because people tell you not to focus on the 3D. So what ends up happening? You end up doing the very thing they're telling you not to, because now they've given your attention to it. If people would just stop talking about the 3D is not a bad thing. The 3D is not your enemy. The 3D is not against you. The 3D is just the world of effects. That's it. The 3D, what you're noticing is stuff that you've already been thinking. That's all. What you're seeing in your 3D is just what you already been thinking. That's it. You can tell how you love yourself by how you think of yourself. What do you say about yourself? What is your conversation? How do you really talk to yourself? It's your inner conversations that tell you what you really think of you. So when things happen, do you say, do you really, are you insecure? Like you have difficulty trusting people. You have difficulty accepting that, you're dynamic, that you're whole, you're complete, you're abundant. Like, do you think that's strange to hear those things about you? Because it's really not about learning to love you. It's accepting that you are loved. It's more about acceptance. And keep telling yourself and reminding yourself who you are. I am peace. I am love. And really you can tell based on how you treat others, right? Because there are no others. Other people don't exist. You can only give to others what you first give to yourself. So if you're rude, and you hold grudges, you're unforgiving, you're judgmental, you're very critical, that's really you pointing out the things about them that you really don't like about you, because there is no them. They don't exist. They're just figments of your imagination. Yep, if you say you do want something or you don't want something, you're still talking about the something. Yes. Hey, Neville Goddard. The Bible, I get this information from the Bible. So you going in the shadows now? Because the Bible tells you, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. What you think in your heart, remember, you're the only thinker, thus you're the only creator. Is what you think in your heart, that's what you are. So what are you thinking about yourself? What do you think of you? What do you say about you when no one else is around, when you're having that conversation? Or pay attention when you're having conversations that what we call casual conversations or impromptu conversations, like when you're having conversations with your friends and your family and your co-workers. Pay attention to what you talk about, because that's what you think. That shows you. That's when it says that out of the heart the mouth speaks. What's in you comes out of you. It always shows up. But the thing is not so. The thing you have to be like, so you don't like it, change it. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel ashamed. You don't have to, feel guilty. You don't like anything about you. All you have to do is change it. Accept the truth that you're whole, that you're perfect, that you're enough, that you're abundant, that you're prosperous, that you're successful. You have to keep telling yourself this. You have to keep reminding yourself of this truth. That's why meditation is key. As you go to sleep, you're telling yourself, I am peace. I am love. I am abundant. That's who I am. I am joyful. I am kind. I am understanding. I am forgiving. Like that's who I am. I am that I am. Not stealing old James teaching. What did Joel Osteen steal? How am I stealing someone's teaching? Joel Osteen. Oh. Well, at least you've heard it before. At least you've heard it before. At least you know it's not new. But actually, I'm talking about, you know, the Bible. These principles are in the Bible, and you can read Neville Goddard and Dr. Joseph Murphy and Florence Scovel Shinn and Emmett Fox and Wayne Dyer and Joe Dispenza. That, you know, this truth ain't just given to Joel Osteen. But you know the difference between me and Joel Osteen? I'm not telling you God need 10% of your money to get him to bless you. So I don't teach Joel Osteen's gospel, because he want that 10% about you. He gonna ask you to pass that collection plate. He gonna tell you God need that he need that money, honey. That's what me and so if this sounds familiar and it sounds like I'm saying what Joel Osteen is saying, that's where we differ. There's no collection plate going around. I'm not trying to convince you that God needs 10% of your money to bless you. Oh, what? Wait a minute, how am I twisting the script if you just said I'm saying the same script Joel Osteen says? So how am I twisting it? You said you recognized the script because you said I'm plagiarizing Joel Osteen. Now I'm twisting it. So that means Joel Osteen is twisting it too then. Then that means you think that Joel Osteen is on some bullshit. Like you don't think he teaching it either. Oh, okay. Make it plain. Yeah, I know you don't like Joel Osteen because he don't teach hellfire and damnation. He's his prosperity gospel. Y'all don't like prosperity gospel. Y'all don't like to hear that the gospel actually tells you to be abundant. That God says you can have whatever you desire. You don't like to hear that. You want to hear damnation and hellfire. And I know Joel Osteen, he's not talking about, he barely even opened up that Bible. I am what God said I am, and I will be what God said I will be. And he never opens up that Bible. He might give you a little scripture. He might quote one scripture throughout his whole teaching. But he all about that money, honey. He like, be prosperous. Because I did say if I was going to be in church, if it was going to be a church I would go to, Joel Osteen would be the church. Funny that you mentioned Joel, because he would be the minus the tithing. If he let the tithing go, yes, because he doesn't preach fear-mongering. He preaches you can have and be whatever you desire. He actually does preach the essence of Scripture. Only thing, he makes God outside of you, and he tells you God need money about you. So there are some differences with what I accept is true and what Joel Osteen preaches. But for the most part, he is telling you that you're supposed to have the abundant life here. That you can experience healings, you can experience prosperity, you can experience peace, joy, love, kindness, temperance, all the fruit of the Spirit. He does. So I'm with Joel on that. But when he gets to talking about God is up there in the heavens looking down on you and that God needs 10% up out of you, that's where I must separate from Joel Osteen. But what church doesn't? What church doesn't love the money? What church isn't telling you that you got to give God back what he already gave you? What church isn't telling you that? This church right here isn't telling you that. The true church, the temple of God, the temple made without hands, doesn't need your money. Yes, I love the money too, actually, but I know I don't have to give God, I don't have to give something outside of me money in order to get money. You don't need money to get money. That was the deception. When people tell you you need money to make money, that's not true. Not true. You don't need money to make money. Not true. Giving to who, though? Right. Okay, Joy. Yes, I don't mind the up in heaven because he, they, them is everywhere. Yes. All there is everywhere. Is everything, and everything is I am. That's true. All right. Who is this 10% going to? And who is the free will offering going to? Because that would depend. Who am I giving this 10% to? And who am I giving this free will offering to? Who is it going to? Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with giving. Absolutely nothing wrong. Give out of your abundance. Give to your heart's content. But there's no specific place it has to go. It goes wherever you deem necessary, wherever you want to send it. Right? You can give to whomever you want to give it to. Right? You said 10% is going to the man on the corner. Yeah. Say I tithe 20% instead of 10%. I'm getting myself into that. You're funny, Elizabeth. Say 10% is going to charity. Right. Right. I tithe to the house of me. Yes. True giving is when you give with no expectation of return. When you give with no strings attached. When you give unbegrudgingly. When you give from the heart. When you don't make the giving transactional. That's true giving. When you can give when nobody else is looking. When you're not standing on a podium saying, see, look what my right hand knows the left hand doing. See, I gave $1,000 to this person. See how I helped that person over there? See, I gave it. You shouting, telling everybody how much you give. Because you want to be seen of men and you want people to glorify you. Because what's done in secret shall be revealed. God, what you do in secret, God is going to shout it from you. You don't have to tell nobody. What's done in secret shall be shown openly. But you don't have to do it. You should do it when nobody is looking, when you can't get any glory out of it. But people want to be seen of men. People want the chief seats. People want a ceremony in their honor. They want to get an award and say how much they gave to charity, how they did this and how they did that. People want men to celebrate them. We love to celebrate the giving. We love to say, look what I've done. Look at me. See how charitable I am. See how I have the heart of God. See how much I do for my fellow man. They want to be seen of men. But anything you give should be done in secret. Why people got to know you help people? Why you got to tell everybody what you done did? Because you want to be patted on the back. But hey, then that mean you received your reward. You got your reward. You got it. Everybody know. Everybody knows. You got your reward. I say keep it on the down low. Nobody has to know. Keep it on the down low. Because you'll be surprised, like they would say in the church, you can't be God-given. When you give from the heart and what you doing secretly, you should be rewarded openly. You just can't beat God. When you give, it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men give unto your bosom. When you give from the right place with the right heart, and you're not looking to be seen of men and be validated from the outside, whoo! How that money come back, pressed down, shaken together, running over. How now unto him that is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ever ask or think, according to the power that works within you. Prove me now herewith and see, if I will not open you up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you will not have room enough to receive. I'm telling you. But when you want to be seen of men, when you need validation, when everybody to come in and create an award in your honor because of your good deeds, how great you are. Oh, you got your award, your reward. You got it. And not saying that is wrong. I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm just telling you that's how it, when you do things to be seen, when you do things to be built up and it's not coming from a true place, you see what comes along with that. You see, people will, when you let people be your builder, when you let people place you on a pedestal, they put you up there just so they can bring you down. And you see it happen all the time. People build people up in their minds and place people on pedestals. And when they say, well, and they want to be seen, and and then eventually Humpty Dumpty fell on the wall, sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horsemen, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty back together again. When you allow people to place you up there, you give them the power to pull you down. Don't let people place you on a pedestal. Don't make people think that you're greater or better than anyone else. No one is better or greater than anyone else. And no one's less than anyone else. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. All in this together. So remain faithful, guys. I'm going to jump off of here, but remain faithful. Remain true to yourself. Be true to yourself. If you don't be true to nobody else, be true to yourself. To thy own self, be true. To be or not to be, that is the question. Who do you say that I am? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up in this thing we call life? How do you want to present yourself? What do you want to be known as? Right? And I know, life will show us exactly what we believe and accept to be true. And we have to know that, yes, a lot of times we planted harvests that we really didn't want. And now we have to do the work to replant the harvest, which means what? We have to do the work of changing our minds. We have to do the work of changing our minds. That is the work. That is the proof is in the pudding. The transformation of the mind. When you change your mind, you truly do change your world. And it really is simple. We make it difficult. We make it hard because we search for excuses. We feel guilt. We feel shame. We feel desperate, right? We get in that hopeless type place. And once you put yourself in that hole, now you got to dig yourself up out of it. But it's not as difficult as it seems. It's really about surrendering. That's really what it's about. Surrendering. It's not about struggling or forcing, pushing or pulling. It's really about surrendering. No effort. if you're putting too much effort, you're going to get the opposite result. The consciousness works from command, not demand. And the commanding is with ease. It's effortless. It's a surrender. It's going with the current, not against it. It's not trying to make a thing so. It's recognizing that it's already so. Yes. Sow the seeds. Much, much love. Good night. Good night, guys. Yes, sending love to all those. And just know that everything works out for you. It's already done. Remain faithful. Fall in love with yourself. Love on yourself. Give the thing that you've been desiring, the thing you've been looking for someone else. Choose to give it to yourself. When you give it to yourself, then you will reap that bountiful harvest. You will reap that love, that joy, that peace, that compassion, that you'll get everything that you were in search of when you give it to yourself. Yes. Yep, merrily, merrily, merrily. Life is but a dream. Dream a beautiful dream tonight. Dream a beautiful dream tonight. Sweet dreams are made of the years. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world in the 7 seas. Everybody's looking for something. Yes, sweet dreams, guys. Good night.